So now if you've understood what happens when you study two characteristics about the same population, what correlation is, it is the extent to which those two characteristics are related to each other. What regression is the dependence of one characteristic on the other, and we've seen over time that the dependence of one on the other may or may not be the same as the other is dependent on the first. And now that we understand regression, I want to move into what we are going to do. And what we are going to do is a topic called forecasting. So giving you a gist of forecasting, what is forecasting? Forecasting is means ahead of time basically. Casting is you are predicting what is going to happen ahead, or basically you are going to predict the future. Now how do you predict the future? You analyze the past and you predict the future. So when you talk about forecasting, you are going to predict the future characteristic about a certain population depending on data given to you about the past of that same characteristic. So if I have given you the demand of a certain organization for a certain number of years and I want you to predict the future of that organization, I am going to predict the future depending on what the past was or what the past data given to me was. Now understand, I am predicting the future. The future has not happened yet. I am yet to predict it. So if I am predicting something, it's not an actual. It's an approximate. It's a probabilistic approach. It is not a deterministic approach. So whatever I predict is not 100% going to be correct. What I am going to try and do is I am going to try and use models to predict the future in such a way that my prediction is very close to what the actual is. I am trying to predict as precise as possible. Even though I am trying to predict as precise as possible, it is still not going to be the exact value. It will be either over the exact or under the exact. If it is the exact value, well, fantastic. If you've told your organization that in the next year you are going to have a demand of 10,000 units and works out to be exactly 10,000, well, fantastic. You have achieved the impossible. But in practicality, that never happens. If you predicted a demand of 10,000, the demand will be slightly over 10,000 or under 10,000, but it will be very close to 10,000 because I have used a predicting model or a forecasting model that gives me the best prediction ever. Now let's see the kind of questions that we have, and then I want to elaborate a little more into forecasting. This is the question that we are going to deal with. So I have given you the PDF for this. This PDF contains questions only from the module, and like I said, we are only going to do the module because nothing else apart from the module is asked. So we are only and only going to do the module. Each and every question from the module is going to be my responsibility. I am going to do each and every question from your module. The question says, form the following time series of data, sale project, the sales for the next 3 years are. So what have they done? They have given you a year. So like I said, remember, they are always going to give you a time-based data. And against that year, they have given you sales in thousands of rupees or thousands of units. 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005 and 2006. Sorry, 2007. And before I continue, let me just apologize for one more thing. I am not in Bombay, I am in my hometown in Kolhapur. So you will hear a lot of birds chirping, you will hear a lot of dogs barking, you will hear a lot of hens, you will hear a lot of trucks going by, because I can't confine myself into a space. I am in a house that has open roof. So because it is open roof, I cannot stop the sound coming in. So you will end up hearing a lot of birds chirping. and there is very little that I can do about it. Anyway, having said that, so this is year and the sales for that year. So in the year 2001, you made a sale of 80 in thousands, so 80,000. 2002, 90, 92, 83, your sales dropped, 94, 99, 92. Correct? Now, before I continue, I want to talk about variations in your data. Now, what do you mean by variations in your data? If you notice, as year progresses, sales keeps changing. So there is variation in the sales. The sales are not a straight constant value. It's not 80, 80, 80, 80, 80 throughout. Now, why does this variation occur? Well, like I said, the variation occurs due to different reasons. I'll give you a few reasons. Reason number one, as the year starts progressing, more and more people know about your product. More and more people know about your product. They like your product. More and more people keep buying the product. But sir, there is a drop here. Could be a reason. Could be a reason like that year, the raw material wasn't that great. So because the raw material wasn't that great, the final product didn't work out very well. And that is why not a lot of people bought it. Or that year, your raw material was expensive. So your end product was expensive. And that is why your demand dropped. Or a competitor launched another product which was cheaper than that of yours, because of which your product didn't do very well. There could be multiple reasons. There's not just one reason, there could be multiple reasons. Or there could be an economic setback that we are in right now. And in such an economic setback, people don't buy luxurious items. Like right now, what is important to us is कि दो वक्त का खाना मिल जाए. We have very few people that are saying चल मोबाइल खरीदता हूँ अभी या फिर चल गाड़ी खरीदते हैं. There might be a certain set of people, but the middle class or the lower middle class are not buying luxurious items, because right now what is important is making ends meet. It is funny, but I read a paper that day that says that the average Indian is not even buying underwear anymore. What does that mean? What it is? So the underline of, it's funny, but the underline of the paper means that underwear or undergarments is something that is considered basic and every human being uses them. So every human being after a stipulated period of time buys them. But the economy is so bad that people would use the same old torn undergarments because there is no money. That is how bad it is hitting us right now. So yes, there will be variations in your data due to several reasons. Now, if your organization is doing good, which if you notice your organization is doing good, but sir, there is a drop, I agree. But do you notice that on an average, there is an increase only? From year to year, there has been an increase. There's not been a decrease. If from year to year, there was a continuous dipping, then I would say your organization is not doing very good. I would say scrap the product. Even though your demand has been dropped, why am I not saying scrap the product? Because on an average, there is an increase. Right now, there is a downfall, which देखेंगे क्या करना है, कुछ तो हुआ होगा जिसके वजह से हुआ होगा. So you don't need to worry about it. So right now I want to stop here and I want to discuss what are the reasons due to which you see your organization having a variation in your data. Right now my data is demand. So why do you see variation in your demand? So what I'm going to do next is a very large concept, but I'm going to do it, or I'm going to try to do it in a very short method. Every organization starts here, which is ground zero, and introduces a new product. Let's do one thing. Let's introduce a new product so that understanding this becomes easier. Let's introduce a new product, dairy milk. And Cadbury, I've introduced dairy milk into the market. Now we all know, we've all been eating dairy milk, and I know grandparents for that matter that have eaten dairy milk. So dairy milk is a very old product. And right from our grandparents right to our grandchildren will be eating the same product. Because it's a product that has consistently stayed in the market. This is where dairy milk started. And because it was a new product, a lot of people bought it, and then it kept getting better and better. It came to a point where now it is so good that nothing better can be done about it. So what I want you to do is I want you to forget the crackle, the fruit and nut, the silk, forget everything. Normal dairy milk, Cadbury. You are selling and you've reached a peak. You know what is going to happen now? If you don't understand that this is it, other people are going to make the same product. Then there will be a temptation. There will be a born will. There will be other products that come in that might be A, cheaper, that might be B, slightly different than what you are selling, that might be C, that might be better than what you are selling. If you don't understand that, then you are going to start seeing a downfall. Example, everybody's played the game Pokemon. If you've not played it, you at least know the game Pokemon, or let alone that, I will introduce you to something called as PUBG, which the entire world is being playing. I don't play it because I don't understand it. But anyway, PUBG. It picked up, everybody started playing it, just like Pokemon Go. Everybody started playing it. What happened to Pokemon Go? Where is Pokemon Go? It was in the bloody news for the longest time. There were eggs in a, I don't want to be too specifically religious, but there were eggs in some temple, and then people got offended because how can you have a Pokemon egg in a temple? Oh God, egg. We are vegetarians, and then our God does not agree of eggs, and all of that started happening. A lot of accidents happened, which I completely agree and which I read were true and which is stupid. People were like crazy trying to find Pokemons on the road, and then because of which quite a few accidents happened. And I don't know, but I've heard that people have gotten seriously injured. What happened is after that, there was nothing new in the game. It reached saturation. Because there's nothing new in the game, you saw people uninstalling it and not playing it. And you saw a downfall. So this is where your organization starts doing good because it's a new product. Everybody's loving it. It reaches a peak, it reaches maturity. After it reaches maturity, A, people get bored of it, or B, somebody else launches something cheaper and better, so you move on to that, nobody buys your product. And then you start seeing a decline in your product. So first you see prosperity and then you see a decline. अब हम ढीठ है, डिक्लाइन तो डिक्लाइन, मेरा प्रोडक्ट बेस्ट है, मैं कुछ नहीं करने वाला इसमें, ये ऐसे ही रहेगा. You know what this is? Orkut. I don't think you all are the Orkut generation, but let me introduce you to our Facebook. This is when we just walked out of school and Orkut was introduced. It was a Garibo ka Facebook. So like Mr. Harman Baweja's Garibo ka Hrithik Roshan. So this was Garibo ka Facebook. What happened to Orkut? It started doing very well. Everybody had an Orkut account, but there was nothing new. That's it. There was no sharing of memories. There were no posts. There was no BuzzFeed on Facebook. There were no ads. It started seeing a decline. अब हम ढीठ है. मेरा प्रोडक्ट यही है. मैं इसमें कुछ बेटर नहीं करने वाला. अगर आप ढीठ हो ना, तो फिर आगे जाते जाते पता चलेगा कि आपका प्रोडक्ट और डिक्लाइन में जा रहा है. To a point where now you have hit rock bottom, and now you have to decide decline, bankruptcy. You declared bankruptcy. ठीक है, अब क्या करो, जो भी रिसोर्सेज थे बेचना चालू कर दो, क्योंकि कंपनी बंद करनी है, लोगों के बिल देने हैं, एम्प्लॉइज के पगार देने हैं, सब बेच बाच के एम्प्लॉइज का पगार देके you come back to ground zero. This is a cycle that every organization follows. This is a cycle literally every organization follows. झूठ है सर. I have seen Melody still do good in the market. I have seen Dairy Milk still do good in the market. I'll tell you why it's still doing good in the market. They introduced a product, it reached prosperity. After it reached prosperity, they didn't stick to the same product. They realized कि आप इसके साथ बैठेंगे ना तो कोई ना कोई इससे अच्छा या इससे बेटर या इससे चीपर कुछ बना लेगा, एंड देन अपना प्रोडक्ट ऑब्सोलीट हो जाएगा. तो अपन क्या करते पता है, अपन रीडिजाइन करते हैं. So the moment you reach here and you realize that this is the peak of your market, you need to redesign, you need to rebrand, you need to remarket, you need to republicize, you need to up your product in every different way. You know why Facebook is always relevant, and you know why it always is going to stay relevant for a long time, till at least Zuckerberg is alive? Because there is always something new in Facebook, if you realize this. The best thing he does is he collaborates other apps into his website and app, because of which बाकी लोग नया कर रहे हैं ना, तो वो नया Facebook पे आ जाता है, and then people think Facebook में कुछ नया है. So there is always a new game, there is always a new filter, there is always something new, like an open what do you call it, an open letter that you can write to other people. There is new apps where you try to see how old or how young, how will you look when you're older, how will you look if you were another gender. All this keeps coming up. There are apps where it will tell you what is your ethnicity. There are applications in the app, in the Facebook app itself, that tell you so many different things. Because of which, every time Facebook reaches the peak with some application, it redesigns and it comes up with a new application, and that application will start seeing a new peak now. तो वो बंदा डिक्लाइन देखता ही नहीं है. डिक्लाइन किसने देखा? ऑर्कुट ने देखा. डिक्लाइन किसने देखा पता है? डब स्मैश ने डिक्लाइन देखा. आई डोंट नो इफ यू ऑल नो डब स्मैश, बट डब स्मैश वाज अगेन गरीबों का टिकटॉक. डब स्मैश वाज दैट टिकटॉक दैट रिफ्यूज टू इवॉल्व. डब स्मैश में क्या था? अब किसी भी पिक्चर का, टीवी का, एड का, जिंगल का, किसी का भी डायलॉग सॉन्ग उठा लो एंड देन यू लिप सिंक टू इट. दैट्स इट. TikTok made it better. TikTok brought effects into it. TikTok brought movie editing features into their application. TikTok brought crazy things into it. Although I don't approve of it, but whatever. TikTok brought tons of things to it. Because of which TikTok kept being relevant to a point where, I'm sorry, but we've been banned in our country. But anyway, that's one way of going about it. What happened? TikTok kept rebranding, TikTok kept redesigning, introducing new stuff. That is why it stayed relevant. तो आपका जो प्रोडक्ट बेचने की कोशिश कर रहे हो ना, that depends on आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कौन से साइकिल में है. अगर आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रॉस्पेरिटी में है तो ऑब्वियसली आपके प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड आपको बढ़ते हुए दिखेगा. पर अगर प्रॉस्पर हो चुका है और डिक्लाइन है ना, तो आपका प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड आपको कम होते होते दिखेगा, to a point where कोई खरीदेगा ही नहीं. And this every organization follows, from prosperity to decline to bankruptcy. Every organization follows unless you understand this and do some redesigning, rebranding and everybody does this. आप देखते हो पर आप इतना ध्यान नहीं देते. जो भी आप शैम्पू यूज करते हो, जो भी आप फेस प्रोडक्ट्स यूज करते हो, सोप्स यूज करते हो, you use the clothes that you wear, everybody keeps coming up with new things. Nobody sticks to one product for a lifetime unless you are Parle-G, because then we know that that's Parle-G is like I call it comfort food. When I travel, when I'm traveling a lot and I want to feel like I'm at home, I buy myself a cup of tea and I buy myself a Parle-G, and you are suddenly feeling at home, because then that is what the biscuit has to it. ये आजकल के हाइड एंड सीक्स और गुड डेज में वो बात नहीं है जो Parle-G में है. एनीवे, बट दैट इज वन प्रोडक्ट टू स्टे, बट दैट इज अ डिफरेंट स्टोरी और दैट इज अ डिफरेंट बॉल गेम ऑल टुगेदर, बिकॉज देन देयर आर इमोशंस इन्वॉल्व्ड and the price of a Parle-G is so much cheaper than any other product that you can buy. Nobody can come up with a glucose biscuit cheaper than Parle-G. Having said that, there are a few products that will, but all other products need rebranding. All other products need. आप जो भी पेन खरीदते हो सेम नहीं रहता. There is something new that every pen brand comes up within a certain number of days, or a certain number of weeks, or a certain number of years, no matter what product you buy. And that is why that organization or that company stays on top. So, depending on what cycle you are in, आपके डिमांड में फर्क आएगा. So, आपके डिमांड में जो फर्क आता है ना, that is due to different reasons. Cycle is one of the reasons. आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या साइकिल में है, डिपेंड करेगा कि इसके बाद डिमांड अच्छा होगा या बुरा होगा. But there are other reasons also. What are the other reasons? The other reasons are, there are a total of 4 reasons why there could be a why there is fluctuation in your demand. अब ये फ्लक्चुएशन अप भी हो सकता है, डाउन भी हो सकता है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन 4 मेन reasons. And what are the 4 main reasons? This fluctuation that you see in your demand could be because of the cycle that your organization is in. Number 2, it could be because the season. Seasonal लिख देता हूं. Seasonal. It could be cyclic, it could be seasonal, it could be irregular, and there could be a trend that it is following. These are the 4 reasons why there could be changes in your demand. अब देखो, these 4 changes, I am right now talking demand based because we are going to do questions demand based. But this could be anything. आप अपने कंपनी के रेवेन्यू के बारे में बात कर सकते हो, follows the same 4 reasons for fluctuation. आप किसी भी एक एज ग्रुप के सैलरी की बात कर सकते हो, will also follow the same reasons. So reason number was cyclic. साइक्लिक मतलब लाइक आई सेड, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कौन से साइकिल में है, अच्छे साइकिल में, प्रॉस्पेरिटी के साइकिल में है तो फिर अच्छा करेगा प्रोडक्ट, आपका डिक्लाइन में है तो बुरा करेगा, एंड सो ऑन. रीजन नंबर 2, सीजनल. अभी जो बेचते हो वो प्रोडक्ट सीजनल होगा. सीजनल मतलब रेनकोट. रेनकोट कब खरीदते हो? इन महाराष्ट्र स्पेसिफिकली. महाराष्ट्र में 4 महीना बारिश होती है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम जून. सो जून, जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, 4 महीना. तो रेनकोट बनाने वाले होंगे ना, तो जून के थोड़ा पहले से सेल्स चालू होगा अप टिल सितंबर. सितंबर के बाद सेल्स होने वाला नहीं है क्योंकि बारिश होती नहीं है. तो ये एक ही क्वार्टर है जब आप बेचोगे. बाकी का क्वार्टर क्या? बाकी का क्वार्टर इतना बिकने वाला नहीं है क्योंकि आपका प्रोडक्ट सीजनल है. हर एक प्रोडक्ट का सीजन होता है. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय हर एक प्रोडक्ट का सीजन होता है? वेल, हर एक प्रोडक्ट का सीजन होता है मतलब शादियों का भी सीजन होता है. जो अब एक निकल गया जब लोग शादी नहीं कर पाए, विच वॉज मे. इंडिया में शादियां दो टाइम पीरियड में होती है, एक होता है मई और एक होता है दिसंबर. ये छोड़ के और बीच में कभी शादी यूजुअली होती है, एक आध 2 होती होंगी, पर ज्यादा से ज्यादा शादियां इसी सीजन में होती है. तो अगर आप वेडिंग प्लानर हो तो आप अच्छा धंधा करोगे कब? मई में और दिसंबर में. तो बाकी साल होगा पर उतना अच्छा नहीं होगा जितना आपका मई और दिसंबर में होगा. रेनकोट बेचते हो तो लाइक आई सेड, जून के थोड़ा पहले अगर पीपल स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग तो लेट्स से मई से लेके सितंबर तक सेल्स होगा. उसके बाद कोई खरीदने वाला नहीं है. मई में वो लोग हैं जो गांव से आएंगे और फिर बोलेंगे चलो अभी लेट्स गेट रेडी फॉर द रेनी सीजन, तो खरीद के रखेंगे अप टिल सितंबर के बाद कोई खरीदने वाला नहीं है. Telecom companies have realized that there is a season to sell SIM cards also. And you know what the season is? 10वीं 12वीं का रिजल्ट. I have done a data study where 10वीं 12वीं के रिजल्ट के बाद बहुत सारी कंपनीज का सिम कार्ड बिकता है क्योंकि बहुत सारे बच्चों को 10वीं और 12वीं के बाद सेलफोन्स मिलते हैं. तो दैट इज द टाइम पीरियड जब बहुत ज्यादा सिम कार्ड का सेल्स होता है. तो उसका भी एक सीजन है. हर एक चीज का सीजन होता है. शॉपिंग, कपड़ों का, शॉपिंग का भी सीजन होता है. सबसे ज्यादा कपड़े फेस्टिव टाइम पे बिकते हैं. अब हर एक का फेस्टिव अलग होता है. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल महाराष्ट्र में आप यू हैव सेल सीजन होता है प्लस यू हैव फेस्टिव सेल्स विच इज दिवाली, दशहरा, क्रिसमस, गणपति. दीज आर द टाइम्स वेयर, ईद, दीज आर द टाइम्स वेयर ज्यादा सेल होता है. But if you go to Kerala में majority sales happens on 2 occasions when one is Vishu and the other is Onam. What I've seen, they have major sales around that period of time. तो हर एक चीज का एक सीजन होता है. अगर सीजन अच्छा है तो प्रोडक्ट का डिमांड अच्छा होगा. फिर एक आता है इरेग्युलर वेरिएशन, एक आता है साइक्लिक वेरिएशन, एक आता है सीजनल वेरिएशन. साइक्लिक वेरिएशन आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कौन सी साइकिल में उस पर डिपेंड करता है. सीजनल वेरिएशन सीजन है क्या आपके प्रोडक्ट का, उस पर डिपेंड करता है. नेक्स्ट इज एन इरेग्युलर वेरिएशन. व्हाट इज एन इरेग्युलर वेरिएशन? सीजन ना बता के आता है, ये बता के नहीं आता. एग्जाम्पल, बारिश बता के आती है, कोरोना बता के नहीं आया था. ये इरेग्युलर वेरिएशन है. इसके वजह से अगर कोई कंपनी अच्छा कर रही है या बुरा कर रही है तो वो प्रिडिक्टिव नहीं था. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इरेग्युलर वेरिएशन कॉल्ड कोरोना. इसके वजह से अगर कोई कंपनी अच्छा या बुरा कर रही है, अच्छा अच्छा करने वाली तो कोई कंपनी सुनी नहीं है, बहुत कंपनीज है. Pharmaceutical companies are at their best right now. I know people, I know friends who are working in pharmaceutical companies who are telling me that they have made enough money in this one quarter which they basically make throughout the year. पूरे साल का इस क्वार्टर में कमा लिया वो लोग ने. इतना प्रोडक्शन चल रहा है फार्मास का, फ्रॉम सैनिटाइजर्स टू ड्रग्स टू sanitary products, everything. Pharmaceutical is one field that is not doing bad at all. You know what other field is not doing bad at all right now? IT. IT and infrastructure management is one field that is not doing bad right now because everybody's moved. We are on an online platform right now. Everybody's moved to an online platform. And because everybody's moved to an online platform, there is a boom and there is a sudden need of requirement of IT products. ये बता के आया था क्या? नहीं बता के आया था. ये irregular है. At the same time, बारिश होती है, हर साल होती है, वो सीजन हुआ. बाढ़ हर साल आता है क्या? वेल अब आने लगा है, बट देयर वाज अ टाइम जब नहीं आता था. तो अब देखो, बारिश होने वाली है, ये मेरे को पता है, बट अब बारिश की वजह से ट्रेन बंद हो जाएगी और मेरे एम्प्लॉयज ऑफिस नहीं आ पाएंगे, ये मेरे को नहीं पता था. So that change was an irregular change. Why couldn't you make enough products this month? अरे बिकॉज इतना बारिश होते रहा. अरे बारिश तो हर साल होता है, वो तेरे को पता होना चाहिए था. यू शुड हैव बीन रेडी. अरे आई वाज रेडी. मैंने प्रोडक्शन बढ़ा भी दिया था क्योंकि फिर बारिश की वजह से अगर कभी प्रॉब्लम हो तो मैनेज कर सके. पर इतनी बार ट्रेन्स बंद हो गई बारिश की वजह से, इतना इरेगुलर वेरिएशन आया कि आई कुडंट प्रिडिक्ट इट. So there could be irregular reasons also because of which there could be changes in your demand. And the last is trend. अब ट्रेंड क्या है? देखो, हर एक प्रोडक्ट, अगर प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है ना तो कितना भी वेरिएशन हो प्रोडक्ट अच्छा ही करेगा. तो आपको क्या दिखेगा पता है? अगर आप एक ग्राफ ड्रॉ करोगे ना विथ टाइम अगेंस्ट द डिमांड, तो आपको दिखेगा ना कि कभी डिमांड, पहले शुरुआती में डिमांड खराब था, फिर अच्छा था, फिर बीच में डिप हुआ, पर फिर अच्छा था, फिर डिप हुआ, फिर अच्छा था, फिर अच्छा था, फिर डिप हुआ, फिर डिप हुआ, फिर अच्छा था, फिर डिप एंड देन डिप, फिर अच्छा था. तो आप देखोगे ना दैट देयर आर वेरी इरेटिक एंड इरेगुलर बिहेवियर ऑफ योर डिमांड, बट ऑन एन एवरेज देखते जाओगे ना तो बढ़ते जा रहा है. हाँ, देयर हैव बीन ड्रॉप्स, देयर हैव बीन हाइज, बट ऑन एन एवरेज इफ यू सी इट इज फॉलोइंग एन इंक्रीजिंग ट्रेंड. अगर आप स्टडी करो गवर्नमेंट में खर्चा हुआ पैसा, सो मनी and number of polio cases, तो क्या दिखेगा पता है? पहले ना खर्चा, उल्टा ड्रॉ कर देता हूं, सॉरी, तो समझने में आसानी होगी. मनी एंड पोलियो केसेस. आपको दिखेगा कि पैसा कम खर्चा करते थे ना तो पोलियो केसेस हाई थे. फिर क्या हुआ? फिर पैसा खर्चा करने लगे तो पोलियो केसेस लो हो गई, पर बीच में खर्चा करके भी ना पोलियो केसेस हाई हुई, फिर उतर गई, फिर हाई हुई, फिर उतर गई, फिर हाई हुई, फिर उतर गई. ना आई एग्री देयर इज इरेटिक. लास्ट ईयर से इस साल ज्यादा पोलियो केसेस थे, बट ऑन एन एवरेज दिख रहा है ये कम होते जा रहा है. इट इज यू सी अ रिड्यूसिंग ट्रेंड इन द डेटा, और उसको बोलते हैं ट्रेंड. आपका डेटा ट्रेंड फॉलो करेगा. तो आपकी जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की डिमांड है वो कम ज्यादा होगी डिपेंडिंग ऑन आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या साइकिल में है, क्या सीजन में है, irregularity है क्या कोई, और कोई ट्रेंड है क्या. Now this irregularity could work in different ways, like the corona irregularity for some people is working really bad, like food industry is gone into the dumps, but at the same time the pharma and the IT industry are seeing a boom. In fact, people are hiring in the pharma and the IT industry both. There is hiring going on, while other organizations firing तो दूर की बात, मतलब फायर कब करते हो? जब कोई होता है ऑफिस में, ऑफिस ही बंद पड़ गया तो क्या फायर करोगे किसी को. So irregularities work in different ways. So irregularity ऐसी नहीं होती कि बुरी हो, irregularity अच्छी भी हो सकती है. मास्क बनाने वाले, तो जो सब कपड़ों की दुकान वाले थे ना, टेलर वेलर, सब मास्क बनाना चालू कर दिए, तो मास्क बन रहा है and then people are making money out of it. So like I said, irregularity is not always bad. It could be a good irregularity also. So having said that, आपको जो अभी जो मैंने क्वेश्चन लिखा है उसमें दिख रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू द ईयर द सेल्स आर चेंजिंग. अब ये सेल्स क्यों चेंज हो रहे हैं? एक तो आप देखोगे कि ऑन एन एवरेज इंक्रीज है, तो यू विल सी दैट इट इज इन अ पॉजिटिव ट्रेंड. अब साइकिल की वजह से कभी ज्यादा कभी कम होते रहेंगे, सीजन की वजह से कभी ज्यादा कभी कम होते रहेंगे और इरेगुलर वेरिएशंस की वजह से कभी ज्यादा कभी कम होते रहेंगे। आपको करना क्या है? आपको करना यह है कि आपको समझना है कि एज द इयर्स प्रोग्रेस the sales is also progressing. Sometimes it's dipping, I agree, but majorly it is increasing. If you notice 80 से 90 increase, 90 से 92 increase. अब एक dip है 83 पे, then there is an increase and then there is a increase and then there is a dip. तो 4 बार increase और 2 बार dip है, तो on an average increase है ना. So this increase that I see, with this understanding pattern, I have to now understand कि अब मैं यहां हूं 92 पे, इसके बाद बताओ डिमांड क्या होगा, what is going to be the increase in the demand, जिससे मैं रेडी रहूं कि मेरा नेक्स्ट साल का प्रोडक्ट का प्रोडक्शन कितना होना चाहिए. एंड दैट वी आर गोइंग टू डू विद द हेल्प ऑफ रिग्रेशन एंड कोरिलेशन. मतलब रिग्रेशन क्या बोला था? रिग्रेशन बोला था कि because these two characteristics are related to each other. Yes, जैसे जैसे साल बढ़ते जा रहा है, if you see demand भी बढ़ते जा रहा है, तो demand and sales are going hand in hand up. एक दो बार dip होता है, but agree, but on an average there is an up, no? एक आध दो बार तो कम होगा ही होगा, मैंने बोला था. With this hand in hand up, the dependence between the two is not the same. मतलब आपका sales साल पे डिपेंड करता है, साल sales पे डिपेंड नहीं करता. So if the year is X and the sales is Y, then sales depends on year. So Y depends on X. X doesn't depend on Y. So what are we going to do? We are going to find BYX. What is BYX? BYX is nothing else but the rate at which the value of Y is changing for a per unit change in X. मतलब हर एक साल में अगर ईयर इंक्रीज होता है तो सेल्स उस हिसाब से कितना इंक्रीज होगा. वो कैसे फाइंड करेंगे? द कोवेरियंस बिटवीन एक्स एंड वाई विद द स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑफ एक्स स्क्वायर. कहां से आता है ये सब? कोवेरियंस बिटवीन एक्स एंड वाई का फॉर्मूला था द सम ऑफ एक्स वाई अपॉन एन माइनस एक्स बार वाई बार डिवाइडेड बाय स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑफ एक्स. ये है. तो अगर स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑफ एक्स को स्क्वायर कर दूं तो स्क्वायर कर दूंगा तो ये रूट निकल जाएगा, तो बचेगा क्या? सम ऑफ एक्स स्क्वायर अपॉन एन माइनस एक्स बार स्क्वायर. तो मुझे ये दो चीजें कैलकुलेट करनी है जिससे मैं बी वाई एक्स निकालूंगा. सो लेट्स गो. वी आर गोइंग टू फाइंड बी वाई एक्स. इट्स अ हम्बल रिक्वेस्ट, डू नॉट राइट डाउन एनीथिंग. जस्ट अगर पॉपकॉर्न बनाए या फिर घर में कोई बनाया हुआ चिवड़ा उड़ा होगा तो बैठ के चालू कर दो. कुछ करने वाले हैं नहीं, बस बैठो और keep listening to whatever I am saying. So what I am going to do is I am going to say year को x ले लेते हैं, sales y बन जाएगा. So my x is never going to depend on y, my y is going to depend on x. तो उसके लिए मैं क्या फाइंड करूंगा? उसके लिए मैं b उसके लिए मैं b yx फाइंड करूंगा. तो मेरे को पता चलेगा कि पर यूनिट चेंज इन x से y कितना चेंज होता है. ठीक है. वो फाइंड करने के लिए मुझे ये फॉर्मूलाज की जरूरत है. तो अब क्या क्या चाहिए देखो. कोवेरियंस चाहिए और स्टैंडर्ड डिविएशन ऑफ एक्स स्क्वायर चाहिए. तो मैं काम करता हूं, मैं आगे बाजू ना फॉर्मूला लिख लेता हूं ताकि फिर मेरे को बार बार पलटी ना मारना पड़े. सो लेट मी राइट इट हियर. फॉर द कोवेरियंस, एक दो लाइन छोड़ के यहां लिखता हूं. फॉर द कोवेरियंस बिटवीन एक्स एंड वाई I am going to require a sum of xy upon n minus x bar y bar. Correct? And for the standard deviation of x square is equal to the sum of x square upon n minus x bar square. Correct? So let's start finding these values. तो अब ये values ना मैं कैलकुलेटर में फाइंड करने वाला हूं. I want you to be in your calculator with me ताकि मतलब बाद में जब एक बार देख लो तो बाद में खुद भी वेरीफाई कर लेना क्या क्या चाहिए. पहले तो x बार y बार चाहिए. x बार y बार मतलब द मीन ऑफ x एंड द मीन ऑफ y. ठीक है. तो मीन के लिए पहले टोटल निकालनी पड़ेगी. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट फाइंडिंग द टोटल. द टोटल ऑफ दिस इज 2001 से लेके 2007 तक ऐड करना है. सो 2001 प्लस 2002 plus 2003 plus 2004 plus 2005 plus 2006 प्लस 2007 बन जाता है 14028। करेक्ट? तो लिख देता हूं मैं, या फिर एक बार वापस चेक कर लेते हैं जस्ट टू बी श्योर। 2001 प्लस 2002 प्लस 2003 प्लस 2004 प्लस 2005 प्लस 2006 प्लस 2007, करेक्ट, इक्वल टू 14028। तो लिख देता हूं, इसका टोटल आता है 14028। तो जैसे ये टोटल आ गया, फटाक से x बार फाइंड कर लेते हैं। x बार इज द सम ऑफ x डिवाइडेड बाय n। आई होप यू कैन सी दिस, और आई कैन स्लाइटली जूम इट, को बुक एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा। ठीक है, x बार इज सम ऑफ x अपॉन n विच इज 14028 अपॉन n। कितनी रीडिंग्स थी आपकी डेटा की? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 इज अ टोटल ऑफ 7, which is equal to, so this has to be divided by 7, 2004. So 2004 आता है इसका मीन, so x bar is 2004, correct? Now what? Now y bar. y bar के लिए आपके पास होना चाहिए sum of y and then we will divide that by n. तो पहले sum of y पे आ जाओ। 80 plus 90 plus this light is annoying. Anyway, 80 plus 90 plus 92 plus 83 plus 94 plus 99 plus 92 is a total of 630. So this is 630. What is that? The total of all y is 630. Let's write that down. The total of all y's is 630. तो फिर y bar निकाल लेते हैं। 630 divided by 7, 63, 7 9 is 63, so divided by 7 करूंगा तो वो 90 हो जाता है। तो दिस इज इक्वल टू 90। x बार y बार आ गया। अब क्या चाहिए? सम ऑफ n है, x बार x y चाहिए, सॉरी, तो x y निकाल लेते पहले। x y is x into y. So what I'm going to do now is, as I'm calculating, I'm going to keep adding the values to my memory so that मेरे को बाद में वापस टोटल ना लेना। So मैं मेमोरी क्लियर कर देता हूं, and so I'm not showing this to you because then this becomes white and then I have no place to write, so I'm doing this myself. 2001 into 80 is 160080. I'm adding that to memory. तो मेमोरी में बैठेगा तो मेरे को बाद में ये नहीं करना पड़ेगा। I won't have to again add everything. मैं डायरेक्ट मेमोरी रिकॉल कर लूंगा तो मेरे को वैल्यू मिल जाएगा। So this was 2001 into 80 is 160080, correct? Add that to memory. Then we have 2002 into 90, and that is 180. Add that to memory. Then we have 2003 into 92. It is 184276. Add that to memory. Then it is 2004 into 83 is 166332. Add that to memory. Then we have 94 into 2005. It is 188470. Add that to memory. Then we have 2006 into 99. That is 198594. We add that to memory. And lastly 92 into 2007 is 184644, and we add that to memory. We recall memory and the answer works out to be 1262576. I know the values are too big. I want you to humor me. I will bring this back to what we have to do, but right now I want you to humor me and pay attention. What I'm going to do now is, without writing anything down, I'm quickly going to check these values in my calculator so that I'm just sure that what I have done is correct. I'm doing an XY and then taking a summation. So let me quickly check if whatever I've done is correct so that I can be sure. If you want, you can also check with your calculator, but bata nahi paoge. So anyway, 2001 into 80, add that to memory. 2002 into 90, add that to memory. 2003 into 92, add that to memory. 2004 into 83, add that to memory. 2005 into 94, add that to memory. 2006 into 99, add that to memory. 2007 into 92, add that to memory. Recall memory. Perfect. 126, 25, 76. Yes, that is the answer. 1262, 576. 1262, 576. So that is my XY. Done. What do I need next? तो ये वाले फॉर्मूला का सब हो गया. सम XY हो गया अपॉन n हो गया. X bar Y bar सब हो गया. Let's come to standard deviation of x square, which is basically sum of x square upon n minus x bar square. X bar तो है मेरे पास. किधर गया? हाँ, 2004. बस इसको स्क्वायर करना है. I need sum of x square. Sum of x square मतलब x को स्क्वायर करो और sum लो. So I'm again going to use the memory bit of it. X square. Square it and then take a sum. So 2001 square. 2001 square is 400,401. Add that to memory. 2002 square. 400,804. Add that to memory. 2003 square. 40,12,009. Add that to memory. 2004 square. 40,160,16. Add that to memory. 2005 square. 40,200,25. Add that to memory. 2006 square. 40,240,36. Add that to memory. And 2007 square is 40,28049. Add that to memory. Recall memory. The answer is 2 crore. I'm bad with this, with the lakhs and the crores, because as a science student never worked with it. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is again quickly once again check if the answer is correct so that we move on. 2001, add to memory, square it, add to memory. 2002, add to memory. 2003, add to memory. 2004, add to memory. 2005, add to memory. 2006, add to memory. 2007, add to memory. Recall memory. 28112140. Perfect. So I have everything that I need. My recipe for the BYX is ready. Then I have all the values I need. I have, this is sum of x, this is sum of y, this is sum of x, y, and this is sum of x square. Let's start putting into the formula one at a time. If I want to find the covariance, so covariance between x and y is going to be sum of xy. Sum of xy is 1. Let me unzoom a little so that it fits on the screen. Sum of xy. Sum of xy is 126, 25, 76 divided by n. N is 7. Because I'm doing this for 7 periods. Minus x bar, which is 2004, into y bar, which is 90. This works out to be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the calculator, but again I'm going to use the memory in the calculator so that it's easier. this is what you do. Recall memory and cancel. 126, 25, 76. Correct? Yes. You divide that by 7 and then you add that to memory. Then you multiply 2004 by 90 and then you subtract it from memory and you recall memory. According to my calculator it's 8, but I'll still check once again. MRC cancel. 1262576, divide that by 7. You have 180, correct. Add that to memory, let it sit in the memory. 2004, multiply that by 90, subtract that from memory, recall memory 8. That's perfect. So the covariance between x and y is 8. Now I need the standard deviation of x square. I should have written this here. Anyway, standard deviation of x square. Hold on for a second. Yes. Standard deviation of x square is going to be the sum of x square. So I'm writing this directly. This was my sum of x square here. Sorry, here. 281,12140. I could unzoom the video, but then it will be very small. I don't think it will be legible. Anyway, divided by n. N is 7 minus x bar. My x bar here is 2004 square. So let's finish this off. 2,811,2,140. Divide that by 7. Add that to memory. 2004, square it, subtract that from memory, recall memory. The answer you get is 4. I'll check it once again so that I'm doubly sure. 281,12140. 281,12140. I want you to humor me. I will tell you what I'm reaching at. I just want you to play along for some time. 2004, correct. The answer is 4. So this is correct. So I have the covariance between x and y. I have the standard deviation of x square. Then let's start finding how much is x dependent on, how much is y dependent on x. So the value of byx. What do you mean by byx? The dependence of y on x. Or in other words, for a per unit change in x, how much is y changing by? And the formula is covariance between x and y divided by the standard deviation of x square. Covariance between x and y worked out to be 8. Standard deviation of x square is 4. 8 by 4 is 2. So the value of byx is 2. Question: what does this mean? What this means is, every time x changes by 1 unit, every time x changes by 1 unit, y changes by 2 units. What is this of any use to me? It is of use to you. Let's come back. What are you trying to do? You are trying to predict the sales for the next 3 years, no? And we just found out that every time x increases by 1 unit, y will increase by 2 units. So when x goes from 2007 to 2008, 1 unit, y will go from 92 to 93, 94. Every time x increases by 1 unit, y will increase by 2 units. And that is the meaning of byx. So this is like a very nice model that was evolved. You know what? I could have done this myself also. You know how I could have done this myself? Like a layman. Like I don't understand all this regression and correlation bullshit. I'm going to do this myself. How am I going to do this? I will tell you. I'm going to write down the change. Correct? What change? Let's come here. 2001 to 2002. There is a change of 1. There is a change of 1. there is a change of 1, there is a change of 1, there is a change of 1, and there is a change of 1. There is a total change of 6 units. 6 units through 6 units is a change of 1. And that's basic common sense. The year is constantly changing by 1. Let's come here then. 80 to 90 is an increment by 10 units. 90 to 92, 2 units. What about 92 to 93? It's a reduction. It's a reduction by how much? 92 minus 83 is a reduction by 9 units. 83 to 94, 83 to 94 is an increase by 11 units. So it's an up by 11 units. Then again, 94 to 99, it's an up by 5 units. And 99 to 97 is a reduction by 7 units. The total give and take is 10 plus the total change minus 9 plus 11 plus 5 minus 7 is a total of 12 units. 12 units over, I have done this change, total 7 periods, but the change is recorded for 6 because for the first period I have nothing to compare to. So divide this 12 by 6 and you will get 2. Isn't that what we just did? Isn't that what byx is? It is telling you that every time x changes by 1 unit, y will change by 2 units. Then sir, why are we doing all of that? Well, we are doing all of that because that's a better method. This is a question which is framed in such a way that it looks very easy. It is not always going to be this easy. There are going to be questions that are going to be slightly different. And the changes are going to be slightly vague. So there you can't do this by this direct method. You have to use the bxy byx method. So I hope everybody's understood what we are trying to do when we are trying to find the value of byx. We have to estimate the future. No? For every changing year, we have to estimate what the sales is. We have to forecast the sales. Well, in that case, I need to know then how are the sales changing because of the change in the period. Well, the sales are changing by 2 units for every 1 unit change in the period. Yeah, but now what? Now let's make a formula. What formula? Let's make an equation where I put the value of one and I get the other. How? You know what byx is? Byx is the change in y per unit change in x. So you are saying byx is the change in y for a change in x. Yes, correct. So can I also say then change in y is basically the difference between two values of y. So can I say change in y is let's say y1, some value y1 minus some value y2 divided by some value x1 minus some value x2. This is the change in y. This is how you check change, you know, the difference between two values. So if I have to take the difference between two values, can I say instead of y1 and y2, I take one value as y and the other value as y bar, and one value is x and the other value is x bar. So the value of byx is nothing else but some value y subtracted from the mean value of y and some value x subtracted from the mean value of x. Or multiply the x on the other side, you will get byx into x minus x bar is y minus y bar, or in other words, y minus y bar is equal to byx into x minus x bar. What is this? This is called the line of regression of y on x. Meaning this is the line that gives you the dependence relationship of y on x. This is the line that tells you how is y dependent on x. In this line, we have now found byx. We have x bar, y bar. Then let's start substituting. Y minus, what is y bar? Y bar, if I think was 90, 90 y bar, x bar was 2004. So y minus 90 is equal to byx, which is 2 into x minus x bar, which is 2004. Let's open the bracket and make a proper relationship. Y minus 90 is 2x minus 2004 into 2 is 2 2s are 4, 4008. Let's write y on one side, everything else on the other side. 90 goes there and becomes positive. 2x minus 4008 plus 90. So negative 4008, positive 90, they will subtract and become y is equal to 2x minus 3918. What is this? This is the equation of regression of y on x. This equation will tell you what will y be for a given value of x. But what is our y? Our y is sales. What is our x? Our x is year. So for a given year, it will tell you what the sales will be. Our sales stopped at 2007 if you look into the question. They are asking you to predict for the next 3 years. For the next 3 years meaning 7, so 8, 9 and 10. So let's begin then. For x equals 2008. If x is 2008, I have to find what y is. Y is 2 into 2008 minus 3918, which is equal to, I am writing that down directly, 2008 into 2 minus 3918. What do you get? You get an estimated value, 2008 into 2 minus 3918 gives you a 98. So for the year 2008, the predicted sales will be 98,000 units. Then for 2009, when x is 2009, again the same. Y will be equal to 2 into 2009 minus 3918. What is that going to be? It is going to be 2 into 2009 minus 3918 is 100. Next is y is equal to 2 into 2010 minus 3918. 2010 into 2 minus 3918. What do you get? You get 102. And you know what? I'll tell you something. It was stupid of me to find this. See, once you found the first year, no? We know now. What do we know? We know that the value of byx is 2. Isn't the value of byx 2? So then for every 1 unit change in x, there will be a 2 unit change in y. So it is very stupid of me to actually find this. After 98, if the year changes by 1 more year, the answer is going to be 98 plus 200, 98 plus 2102, 98 plus 2104, and this will keep going on. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you the final answer of this question. So according to us, the answer is 9800 and 102. Let me show you the final answer that these people have got. So I'm not going to show you the solution, because if I show you the solution, you all will kill me. I will only show you the final answer. So here you have it. For the year 2008, the demand is, let me highlight that for you with the marker. Perfect. So for the year 2008, for the year 2008, the demand is, for the year 2008, the answer is 98,000 units. For the year 2009, 100 units. For the year 2010, it is 102 units. So I'm going to quickly recap the entire bit as to what I've done in this question, and then we are going to continue. So what we have done is, in a given question, they had given me, so let's do one thing, let's get rid of the question now. I don't think we really need the question. So let's start with, Forecasting. They gave you X, which is a certain period of time over which they gave you sales. And then they said, if this is the trend that the sales is following, can you predict the sales for the next 3 years? I said, yeah, fantastic. I am your forecasting manager. I will do it for you. What model are you going to use? I'm going to use the correlation regression model. I understand that these two are related and positively related to each other. But then I understand regression also, that Y depends on X, but X doesn't depend on Y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find how much does Y depend on X, which means I'm going to find the value of BYX, which is the dependent of Y on X. For that, I need the covariance between X and Y and the standard deviation of X square, for which I need these values, which I found. I found XY, I found X square. I took a total and then I put them into the formulas. After putting them into the formulas, I found the value of covariance and I found the value of my standard deviation of X square. I put them into the formula and I got the value of BYX. BYX is 2. What does BYX mean? BYX means that we are trying to find the change in Y for a per unit change in X. We are trying to find the change in Y with the per unit change in X. To be able to do that, to find the per unit change in Y, to find the change in Y per unit change in X, I will now have to design a formula. What is the formula? It is called the line of regression of Y on X, which is what you use when you have to find Y for a given value of X. This is the formula. I put the values into the formula and I get an equation. What is the equation? The equation is Y is equal to 2x minus 3918. What is this equation? Here Y represents the sales and X represents the year. For any given year, I can tell you the sales. And that is how I've predicted the sales for 2008, 2009 and 2010. So to sum it up, what have we actually found? We have actually found this equation. What is this equation? This equation is what we are looking for. If I have to write this equation in a generalized form, I am finding an equation which is Y is equal to AX minus plus B, or some call this equation Y is equal to A plus BX. What does the A and the B represent? Well, the A represents the constant value, which in this case is minus 3918, and the B represents the coefficient of X. This equation, if I achieve, which is this equation basically, then for any given value of X, I can give you the value of Y. But sir, then for any given value of Y, can we find X? Not in this equation, A, and B, not in this question. You cannot predict time. Time cannot be predicted by anybody. How stupid is that? I can't tell you if my sales is 10,000, tell me what the time is. Sorry. Time does not depend on your sales. Sales depends on time. So you give me time, I will give you sales. You give me sales, I can't find time. So can I say the bottom line of all of this was to find this one equation. And this one equation is Y is equal to A plus BX. So if with the help of this equation, I am able to find the value of A and I am able to find the value of B, then that's done, gold. I don't have to find all the BXY, BYX and the simplifications. Then all this is not required. So I'm going to stop the question and now I'm going to do it in a slightly different framework. And now I want you to pay attention. What I'm going to do next is, instead of doing all of this, I'm going to say that if this equation is all you need, if this is all you need the values of this A and this B, which in this question, A is minus 3918 and B is 2, then let me find this, no? Why are you forcing me to go all through all the BXY, BYX formula and such big values? So what I'm going to do next is, I'm going to show you how, without doing whatever you've done, we are going to find the values of this A and this